Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. The day we're now going to be calling Healing Day, where I will channel various beings that focus on the concept of healing. And today, I have with me the energy of Archangel Raphael, who has some very interesting insights to share with regard to the function of healing. And I hope you'll enjoy his message. And afterwards, we're going to invite some of you to come on if you want to. And if you want to, you have an emotional thing, you've got a physical thing that you'd like to begin to learn the process of healing. One of the things he says to me is, this is the age of learning. It's not the age of becoming more dependent, but recognizing and realizing your divine nature and its capacity to affect and change your world as an act of your own free will. You must come to understand that for millions upon millions of years of humanoid existence upon this planet, that large portions of your existence here were based upon surviving the conditions of this world. That is to say that you were bound to focus primarily on the external world in order for you to survive. And so your consciousness and your attention went out from yourself to watch for events and circumstances around you that might pose a threat to your very physical existence. This has begun to change in the last 8,000 years, where there are small sects and groups of people that have begun to explore internally, to look at the internal world as opposed to focusing on the external world. And much of your attention goes outside of yourself. And so you do not understand what the function and the fundamentals of healing actually are. And one of the things I want to convey to you is that by nature, your body is designed to follow your commands. Your body is designed to follow your commands. When you raise an arm, does your arm not raise? When you lower your arm, does not lower. Your body, by its nature, when your attention is turned inward, is designed to follow your direction. This is inclusive of every molecule of your body, is designed to obey and carry out the commands of your consciousness. Now, some of you might be asking, well, why then can we not heal our bodies instantly? It is because you have been so outwardly focused for many, many lifetimes that much of your attention does not stay inward long enough to acquire or gain the authority and autonomy over the biology so that it will obey you on request. So that if you have a condition or an event that happens, you can tell the body to heal instantly. You can instruct the digestive system to work differently. You must understand, as long as your attention is primarily external, then the function of your authority and control over your physical body is not going to be as effective as it can be when your attention is internal, which is where it must be in order for you to execute the proper commands for your body to carry out on your behalf. Every nerve, every organ, every gland, every muscle, every part of your circulatory system is designed to follow your instructions. Again, many of you are so outwardly focused, and from a very young period of life in the body in which you find yourself, most of your attention, again, has been placed outside of yourself. Great effort and pains have gone to keep you from understanding and realizing your own power to heal the function of the consciousness of your own body. Many of you have been conditioned to believe the only way to ameliorate your pain and your suffering from the perspective of your bodies is by finding something outside of you to do this. And yet, if this were actually true as a function that would improve your health, then states of disease would be significantly diminished upon the face of this planet. So please understand, if the outside world was going to be as effective as you've been told that it would be to ameliorate your suffering, then all of you would be very vibrant and healthy right now. As such, that is not the case. An unfortunately large percentage of humanity is in a state of dis-ease and suffering and physiological pain, seeking perpetually outside of yourself to find amelioration from it. What I propose to you today is that you begin to turn your attention away from the things that distract you, that pull you outside of yourself, the quick fixes that you think you can get from this or that or the other thing outside of you, as you've been conditioned this way for at least this lifetime. You've been conditioned to believe that something outside of your body is going to heal your body. And yet you are by nature, the individual consciousness, able to direct the function of your body to the most intimate and minutest of details. The action of opening and closing your hand involves a great deal more than just the fingers moving up and down. There's a flow of electrons and information from the structure of the brain via your soul, your awareness that directs the brain to direct the body to move the hand, and the many other movements that occur in that process. This is an inward process. When you say to your hand, open or close, this is an inward process. The same is true for your nerves, your organs, your glands. They too are designed to receive commands from you and respond to them. Again, the challenge you face is you've been convinced to believe that only things outside of your body can provide you with relief inside your body. And I say to you, this is not exactly true. While it may be in very small and limited degrees, ultimately your own developed authority, and I stress the term developed authority, only your own developed authority can establish a function of the mind and body carrying out your commands in the fashion in which you desire. But again, because many of you have been trained to believe that something outside of you is going to relieve you from your suffering, many of you do not even bother to take the time nor put in the effort to go inside the body, to go into the blood vessels, to go into the heart, to go into the brain, to the kidneys, to the digestion, to go inside and formulate an understanding of what your body functionally needs from you in terms of ideas. Additionally, your body will reveal to you the foundational things it needs to consume, that is, the things it needs to ingest into its system to promote the function of health from within. You have to give the inner part of the body those very things that it requires to establish the function of vitality and health from within. It is always from within. And as I said in the very beginning, for tens of millions of years, as long as humanoids have lived on this planet, most of your attention has been outwardly focused. It has only been in the last 7,000 years where your attention has begun to go inward, but in very small degrees and in very small and limited segments of your population. Such practices that have become more mainstream in your current iteration of consciousness, such things as meditation. Meditation is a very powerful and profound instrument that can bring you from the outside world into your internal world. And it is from your internal world that you can learn to establish and instruct different states of functionality for your body. You can become very intimate with a kidney or a lung or a heart and have an understanding of what its needs actually are, and not depend exclusively on the external diagnostic apparatuses of the external world, which again, the external world from the perspective of your evolution puts you in the position of focusing outwardly. What I'm saying to you today is that you need to learn to go inward, to learn to hear, to feel, to know what it is your body dynamically and authentically needs from you. It is designed to follow your commands. As easy as I were to say to this body, clap the hands of this body, it does so. If I say to the heart of this body, be slow, be still, be peaceful, then the function of the heart becomes slow and still and peaceful. There is not one molecule in your body that is not by nature designed to follow the instructions that you yourself can give it. The challenge that many of you face is taking the time and cultivating the patience and persistence necessary to reclaim or regain or acquire that natural authority that you, by consciousness, have over this physical organism in which you find yourself hearing me speaking these words to you. There is not one part of your physical body that is unable to follow your commands, but may require instruction to be taught that it can follow your commands, as the external environment has conditioned your body to follow its commands. And so you must restore the internal authority between yourself, your mind, and your body, that your mind and body will carry out the commands that you would offer to it directly, exclusive of the influences of the environment. And yes, there are individuals in your world that do not even eat food or even drink water. There are beings in your world that can live exclusively on their consciousness. This has taken many lifetimes of training for the vast majority of them, but they have turned their attention inward, as I have said, during these last 8,000 years, where human collective consciousness has begun the external journey back to the internal journey. And if you are hearing these words, then you can understand the reason and the logic behind them, that your body is designed by nature to carry out your commands, but that you must reclaim that authority from the world around you through such practices as meditation, deep concentration, proper contemplation. You must learn to become intimately connected to your body, even though you already are. Many of you feel like you're a foreigner in your body. You do not like how your body feels or is being right now. That is simply because you have not been taught to formulate a healthy, well-structured composite with your physical organism. My goal in coming through William today and speaking to you thusly is to get you aware that inside your own consciousness is the relief that you would seek from the suffering your body has been imposed with by this world. Suffering has been imposed upon many of you by the existing systems that tell you you must look outside of yourself for healing. If this were a really effective system that has been presented to you, then all of you would be significantly healed right now. And what I would offer you today is the opportunity to not only hear these words, but to recognize that you bring your attention to any part of your body. That part of your body begins to react and respond to you as equally as it will react and respond to the influences of the environment around you. More so even when you cultivate a very deep and profound and meaningful relationship with the consciousness in your body, then that will always supersede any other influences over the conditions of well-being of your body. Once you've established a sufficient composite between yourself, your mind, and your body, then there's nothing in the world that could override your commands. There will come a time in your consciousness where every function of your body will be under your dominion, your loving, hopefully, dominion. Such great masters as the one you would call Yeshua demonstrated this very clearly and effectively, that he, even though the body was put to death, his consciousness being so profoundly awakened that the body, though it was dead, could be restored to life, because the function of intimacy between his consciousness and his body was greater than the influence of the death that was imposed upon that body by the environment. And so the consciousness of the master himself was sufficient enough to restore the body. And there have been many others such as him over the millennium since his first encounter here some 2,000 years ago. Always within, even this great master said, the kingdom of God is within you. So it is within you that you will find all that the kingdom has to offer you. Your body is designed by nature to react and respond to you, as equally as you may allow it to react and respond to the environment. But hopefully you'll hear these words and understand the importance and the value of learning to go within, making time to formulate a healthy, beneficent relationship with the body that you have during this lifetime. That this body, upon awakening in the morning, you can declare to your body, this body is refreshed, rejuvenated, revitalized, re-energized. You can declare this. You can go deeply into this, go within and feel the consciousness in your cells reacting and responding when you give them a command. Retrain your body from being dependent upon the external models provided to you for survival to the internal capacity you have for free thought that would establish a very different state in your body than the environmental influences of themselves would allow to occur. You have a very unique opportunity if you were hearing these words, and the time is very important, as time is very important in the physical dimension. While it is meaningless in the grand scheme of consciousness, it is very important in the existing biology you find yourself hearing these words in right now. Now we are open and we are receptive to receiving you today, to have you come here with us and have the opportunity to reconnect to your inner capacity to establish transformation and change in the body from the internal perspective and influence of your own consciousness, rather than being dependent furthermore upon the external world to be that source of relief. Again, I want to stress that if the external systems that would offer you freedom from suffering were as effective as they have told you they would be, then you would all be extremely vital and healthy right now. And so you must shift from the external model of influence to the internal model of influence, where your consciousness learns how to teach and direct the functions of your biology in accordance with your wishes, your will, and your goodness. Wow. Thank you, Raphael. So I want to say thank you to Archangel Raphael for that message. And yeah, I love Raphael. He's really good. But he did say that he wants to bring anybody on who wants to come on today if you want to experience some function of healing yourself, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, it doesn't matter. The fundamental characteristics of healing is that it must come from the inside out, not the outside in. He says the outside influences are generally more temporary than permanent. But the internal ones, when you establish in your own consciousness that you can restore, rejuvenate, re-energize, revitalize your own body, then you do not need external influences any longer, would you? Would you? You would not need them any longer. On that note, I'm going to do two things now. I'm going to post a link here. Present or invite. Let's see. Invite a guest. Copy. So I'm going to post a link to join. If you want to come and join me, I'll post this link on YouTube. And if you want, you can click that and come join me for a healing experience. Again, I've got the energy of Archangel Raphael with me, and I hope you take an opportunity to avail yourself of it. When you allow your energy to get boosted by being directed in the right fashion, because again, the goal of the masters, the angels, the guardian angels, is to get you to become inner resilient, not outer dependent. The goal is to become inner resilient, not outer dependent. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed the message. So if you want to come on and you're on TikTok, just send a note or send a request to join me, and I'll invite you on for a healing experience using the time we have now and having the presence of Archangel Raphael with us. And on YouTube, I just posted a link in the conversation chat that, Drusilla, if you're there, maybe you could post it a couple more times so that people could get that as well. But thank you. Got a question from Diane. Is there a reason for my son's memory is so bad? Is it because he lives only in the present? No, there's nothing wrong with your son's memory. There's a lot of irrelevancies. Again, there are concerted influences from the external world that play into what you call his memory loss. Being in the present moment means that you have a full comprehension of all time and space. There is no lack of information available to one who truly lives in the present moment. There is no lack of information available to them. There's no memory loss when you're truly in the present moment. If you are in the ego, in the personality, then there will be gaps here and there because you're not identified with the true nature of who you are. You're identified with the ego structure to a greater extent. Hi there. Do I need to bring a child into the world? My partner wants me to decide if I do. He does not. Again, this is not something to be taken lightly. To bring a child in the world is a very sacred act. To consciously decide this is important. It is not for you or for your husband. It is because you have chosen individually and as a couple to be a guardian for a new soul entering in this world to serve its function and not yours. Many humans have children for the sake of being parents without understanding the function. The function of parenthood is to be conscious enough to lead the child to themselves. But many try to get some sort of special feeling from being a parent. Being a parent is one of the most sacred duties to a soul, for you are the guardian of a soul. You are the guardian of a soul when you do that. Truly. Maybe Archangel Raphael could do a group healing. Sometimes people are afraid to test the waters. Yeah, I can. He says yes, he's happy to do that too. He's happy to do that too. We can certainly do a group healing if you want to, but I recommend that the energy is more intense when you come on directly with him. So I highly encourage you. Again, anybody who wants to use the link on YouTube could certainly do that. Just click on the StreamYard link and you get brought right in here. Hi, Natalia. Good to see you. From the outside, the inside. Yes, that's true. That's what we're doing. Thank you so much for the affirmation, William and Archangel Raphael. It's very much needed and important. It certainly is. It truly, truly is. My chest just filled up hearing you speak. Opening. Is this Archangel Raphael? Yes, it is. You're experiencing his energy. Remember, when you experience their energy, you're experiencing an aspect of yourself. And they'll all tell you that. When you interact, whether you're interacting with Jesus or Buddha or Raphael or Gabriel or even God, the goal is that you remember that you are as they are. You know, when Jesus says, I and the Father are one, he literally realized that which he observed was who he is. The observer is the observed, as J. Krishnamurti would say. The observer is the observed. And so you want to consider that when you're adulating the Christ, you're admiring Raphael, you're actually recognizing and becoming admirable of a part of yourself, right? It's funny. It's really fascinating. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked the live. Thank you so much for liking the live. Appreciate that. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Glad you made it. Judy 1111's asking, I'm 60 years old and I feel like I'm in high school with in-laws talking behind my back and digs. I'm so tired of it. Understand, let it go, Judy. Let them have their pain, their angst, their judgment. Understand, you are not responsible for carrying the burden of their judgment. Let them carry the burden of their judgment themselves. Let them carry the burden of their judgment themselves. Let them carry it. Don't take it on. Stop taking it on. You need to stop doing that. Right? That's why you're feeling so pain. You're carrying the burden of their judgment. Stop it. Stop it. Let's see. Thank you so much for the roses. I really appreciate them. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. There we go. It's beautiful. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for joining. Hey, Kathy. Thank you so much for your support. Well, okay, so seeing as nobody is taking the invitation to come live, let's do, yes, I will. So Raphael, right now, for the next 3 minutes, Raphael is going to start transmitting a healing energy. If you're open and receptive to receiving it, like a glass, a glass must be empty to receive water. So open yourself up to receiving the healing that you're able and willing to at this time. Because again, that's how most people are conditioned, to receiving from the outside. That's the old model. Raphael says it's really important that you come from the inside, that you go inside and establish the idea, the vibration of vitality, of health, of well-being, of strength, of regeneration, of rejuvenation, of revitalization. You need to learn to restore these energies from the inside out. The transmission of my energy to you would only serve to give you a temporary understanding. What I really want you to experience is your own ability to affect and influence the consciousness of your body, which it's naturally designed to be subjective to. Your body is designed by nature to react and respond to your consciousness as equally as you may allow it to respond to the consciousness out there, but more so to your consciousness than the external world, which is why many of your existing models of what are called healing do not have a very good rate of healing whatsoever. And it's because the function of self is placed outside of the self. You must return your divine authority of your body to yourself and not keep giving it away to the world around you. My goal in coming to William today was to give you the opportunity to know that you could turn inwardly and you could say to the body, rejuvenate, revitalize, refresh, re-energize, that you may speak and the body will follow your command. It is designed that way. It has been designed that way from the very beginning, except these last 7,000 or 8,000 years, the actualization of the inner journey on a scale fairly large has begun. And now there are many of you that understand the idea of meditation, but do not know how to properly apply the function of meditation with regards to physical rejuvenation, restoration, health, and vitality. So you have a wonderful opportunity to do that right now if you just open yourself up to receiving the vitality, the restoration, the rejuvenation, the re-energizing of your body. If you're open to receiving that right now, I transmit that to those of you that are open and receptive to receiving it. And I would also add that you be willing to understand that you yourself can transmit this same energy into your own body as an act of your own free and conscious will. You can restore your body, your mind, your emotions. In fact, every molecule of your body is designed to follow your instructions, your direction. Your heart can be healed and made whole. Your lungs can be restored. Understand that when you recognize that your capacity as a conscious sentient being is not restricted by the functions of the body, but that the functions of the body can be stimulated and activated by your consciousness. So let me say to you again, may your body, your mind, and your soul be restored, rejuvenated, revitalized, and re-energized in the fashion that you are willing to allow at this time. May you further be willing to execute your own will upon your body, that it may be rejuvenated, restored, revitalized, and rejuvenated. Allow this and know that you yourself, in not merely speaking the words, but knowing that the body is listening to you when you think or speak, and that it will carry out your commands as equally as your hand would open or close. Your heart, your nerves, your organs, your glands may be restored, rejuvenated, revitalized, and re-energized. Very simple when you understand that it's more effective from the inside out than the outside in. Let's see here. I'm trying to say something. Why can't I tell you what I'm trying to? I'm not sure. I have no idea why. No idea whatsoever. Thank you for sharing live. I appreciate that. Thank you, Archangel Raphael, for being present with us today. 26 Art Girl. What am I supposed to find in Greece that you mentioned a while ago? Hi, Pam. You're going to connect to a past life experience, is what you're going to have there. Carolyn's asking, how often should we practice going inward for self-healing? Everyone, you need to spend at least the very bare minimum. They tell me the very bare minimum is 20 minutes a day. Ideally, 1 to 3 hours a day is the optimal level you would want to reach. Understand that 20 minutes will be sufficient enough for you to at least get your mind and body quiet and calm and peaceful. But beyond that, when the mind and body are quiet, calm, and peaceful, where they are most amenable to the way you could give them information and give them instruction, that period after 20 minutes is that point where the body can be sensitive enough to your consciousness instead of the outside worlds, that you can say to the body, rejuvenate, restore, revitalize, re-energize. You may do so very deeply and intensely after that 20-minute period. But generally speaking, that first 20 minutes is simply to get your mind and your body into that place where they are now open and receptive to your awareness and no longer amenable to the environment's influence. But a minimum of 20 minutes. The optimal is 1 to 3 hours, where you go deeply in and you can be the blood coursing through your own veins, and you can be the heartbeat. You can be the marrow of your bones, active and vibrant and strong, where you can experience the growth of the nails in your fingers, where you can experience the dynamics of the consciousness of your bones and how exquisitely strong and vibrant they are, like the coral of the seas. You must understand that in your body are all the various forms you see in the world around you are incorporated into the function of your own body. It's a very beautiful thing, your body. Good morning, Sue. How are you doing? I am going to Hawaii in early June. I heard there would be earthquakes or volcanic activity in the areas. Do you have any insights? Yes, do not have fear. Do not let fear govern your actions, and do not let the fear of others govern your actions. Go on the journey. You've been yearning for this journey for a long time. There's a place in Hawaii that really remarkable things can happen there. If you meet some indigenous Hawaiians, you might be blessed enough to experience some things that very, 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 very few people get to experience in this world. Enjoy the journey. Do not let the fear of others inhibit you. Hi. Oh, you're very welcome. I hope you felt that. Hi. Thank you for that. I'm glad you felt that. Thank you so much. I felt it all through my body. Thank you, Archangel Raphael. I love Raphael. His energy great. Greetings. Please send healing energy to my mom. Can her right Carol, her right leg needs to be stronger to walk. Again, she needs to learn to understand. Yes, I will. As easily as you can say to the hand, open and close. There is no part of your body or anyone's body that is excluded from your influence unless you've divested your influence over your body to the outside world, which many have done. Many of you have come to a place where you depend upon the outside world to make your body right, rather than going to the inner world where you can establish rightness in your body. But I will happily transmit the strength and vitality that lives deep in the marrow of your mother's bones, to allow that strength to radiate and emanate out into the nerves, into the cartilage, into the ligaments and tendons of that leg, allowing it, if she so allows it, to be restored and renewed in the image and likeness of its own perfection. Again, I do not wish to be the external influence of a process that I'm here to say is a process that you may, of your own accord, establish from within yourself. You yourselves may restore vitality and health to your body, to your mind, to every nerve, to every organ, to every gland. You may do so as an act of your own conscious free will. Your body is designed in the fashion that it should carry out your commands. Ask and you shall receive. It gets very confusing because so many of you say, well, why can't this heal right now? Because much of what you believe is based on not what you know, but what you've been told to believe. That you need something outside of you to make you whole and complete. That is not entirely true. There's certainly things from the environment that can make your body feel good. Only you, from within, in your own divinity, can inside the body declare the vitality and strength of your body is whole and perfect in every way. You can do this. It is the way it was meant to be. It's the way it is becoming, that you can turn inwardly, restore, rejuvenate, and revitalize your flesh. It is designed that way. Right. Wilderness is asking, what are the names of my guardian angels? That's not a relevant question right now, but if you want to send me a question through the Linktree link on below any of my TikTok videos, or you want to book a one-on-one reading with me, you can certainly do that. This is a healing day with Archangel Raphael, and I want to honor and respect his time for coming to us and working with us in this process. But yeah, you can book a one-on-one session if you want to get into that information. Thank you so much. Your last healing helped her stand. Pneumonia had her in ICU in 14 days. I know. Understand, we have been conditioned to believe that what we need can only come from the outside world. They keep telling us all the time, you need to understand that if you understand your true nature, you can establish a very different experience of your life when you know that your body is designed to follow, react, and respond to your consciousness as equally as it will respond to the environments. However, the vast majority of you have given up that role and have exclusively become dependent upon the environment to provide you with that which would make you whole. But the environment cannot give you what you are. You are already whole and perfect, but you must remember that and learn that and restore yourself to this proper causal relationship between you and your flesh, and not be so dependent upon the outside world to provide you with the relief that you yourself are capable of providing. Wonderful. How can I help others to heal? Well, a really simple way to start helping others to heal. Yes, I will. So what Raphael's saying, the best way to help other people heal is to teach them to go inside, to teach them to start cherishing and loving their body from the inside out. Give their body the right food, the right water, the right clothing, the right sunshine. Do it from the inside out. Stop putting poisons and toxins in your bodies. Very simple. But simply teach them to go within. The simple equation is your body is designed to follow your instructions. Not just the fingers and toes, but the face, the eyes, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the skeletal system. It's all designed to follow your instruction. But you must teach the body to no longer depend on the exclusivity of the environment external to it and become more dependent upon your influence upon the body. You can teach your body to be more dependent upon your influence, that you can say to the body, you're restoring, you are rejuvenating, you are revitalizing. Learn to restore your body to your authority. To your authority. And you will find great change happens in a very rapid and easy fashion. You may come and, of course, join us if you wish to join us in the privacy of other learnings other than these channels. Yeah, thank you. That's good to hear. Angie saying, yes, I've healed major inflictions 3 times now. It is totally possible. Yes. And it'll keep, once you become good enough at it, the problems won't come back. Thank you so much. Someone saying, I feel a calling, but don't know what. How do I find my purpose? Sign up for our Masterclass 101 Awakening course. It's going to begin in about another 9 weeks, called Masterclass 101 Awakening. And you'll get connected to your guides, your angels, and more important, you'll get connected to your inner knowing. We've watched so many people transform and transcend their lives over the last 7 years when we were first given these courses to teach. And you really want to get into a community where the inner journey becomes more important than the outer journey. It's a wonderful thing. Anyway, look forward to seeing you there. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and you can register for that. Hi. My kids are going through a very rough time right now, and we have much change. How to heal them best. Again, teaching your children of the innate power of their own consciousness to influence their own body is vastly more important than doing it for them. Teaching them the inner strength, the inner resilience, giving them the ideas that allow them to apply certain concepts to affect change in their own life, their minds, their bodies, their environment. Your children have everything within them. You must remind them that they do. Hi there. Hi. So during Raphael's transmission, I was feeling, I was feeling the assaulting could stop it. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let's put this one over here. Thank you very much. Thank you. You're welcome. Hi, Kimberly. Good to see you. Howdy, y'all. Well, I think we're good today. I've got another thing I've got to attend to now. If you want to book a one-on-one session, you want to learn to connect your guides, your angels, ascended masters, other multidimensional beings, you can go to my website, William Michael Forbes, or click the Linktree link below on my TikTok bio, or below any of my live videos on my YouTube channel. You'll see the Linktree link. You can sign up for our masterclass series. You can book a one-on-one session with me and have your life go through a profound and tremendous transformation in the shortest and most effective period of time possible. Thank you so much, Amanda, for that super sticker. Really appreciate it. I want to wish you all much, much love. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day, and I will see you guys on the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Bye for now.